Red Nation, are we here?
The best show for Chicago sports.
Hey, yeah. What's good? What is good, everybody? It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. We got the squad in the building. How are y'all feeling today, man? Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us on today's show. We got to answer the tough question. Will the Warriors dynasty end up better than the 90s Chicago Bulls? We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into how this Warriors team is going to move in the finals versus both teams. Also breaking down, what should this Bulls team do with the 18th pick? Got a lot of options there for us on that one. And does Miami make a comeback tonight? All that and more on today's episode. You see Ringo trying to hold the laugh back. Yeah, I'm saying. He doesn't believe it himself. No, he doesn't believe it himself. Does Miami make the comeback tonight? It is a Friday, May 27th. May 27th. Dang, this year's going by quick, man. This is crazy.
It is fine.
Let's get to the show, man. I love it. We in this mug. We are in this mug right now, man. How are y'all feeling?
Feeling good, man. We got a 3-day weekend coming up.
3-day weekend, Memorial Day coming Monday. We will not be live Monday for Memorial Day because I make the schedule. Also, because baby bro is getting married on Sunday, so y'all know how that's going, man. Yeah, y'all already know what's going on with that one, man. But yeah, man, baby bro getting married Sunday. Congratulations, Bando. Y'all remember that's who started this show. That's who started this whole thing off with us, man. Bando getting married. Congrats to him and his beautiful wife, Becky, my new sister.
She got good hair.
Yeah, bro, like it's my sister-in-law, bro. Do I gotta fight him now? I don't know how sister-in-law rules work.
No, I was just asking the question. That's all.
Jeez, that's how we starting the show, brother.
You gotta slide him early.
I gotta slide you.
I'm here all week, folks. I'll be at Laffy's on Tuesdays.
Joe, I don't want on Friday.
Question: is Joe big enough that you got to shoot him? Really, the question you got to answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain dudes, bro. I had a guy at AT&T not at AT&T at MKD that I used to work with. He was legitimately 6'7", 450 pounds, and we were talking about like how we used to fight back in the day and stuff like that. And he said, "What would you do if you had to fight me?" I was like, "Shoot you." What are you talking about? I'm not fighting you. You're large.
That's the easy answer.
No, I'm clearly not that big at all, but I appreciate that.
I'm gonna be out here like LeVar, never lost.
Right.
Nah, man. Hey, here's the question on the table. Shout out to y'all for pulling up and rocking with us, by the way. If you guys are in here, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. Just go ahead and
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Every little bit helps. Bro, I'm so glad I got this little digital soundboard now. I used to say that on the show every day, and just having that, it makes me so happy. Anyway, here's the question, and I'm glad we got the guy whose age we can't really tell. Y'all know Joel ages like a vampire. He could have been born in the 1800s. He could have been born 20 years ago. You never know.
Nobody knows.
All about
Nobody knows.
Shout out to him.
It's provocative. It gets the people going.
Here's the question on the table for the start of the episode. Will the Warriors dynasty end up better than the 90s Chicago Bulls dynasty? That is not to say that the players are better, because no, they're not Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about 6 and 8 years. Now, granted, the Warriors have lost 2 of those. But this Warriors dynasty does not look like it's slowing down when you talk about the pieces that are coming behind it. Jordan didn't get T-Mac. Jordan didn't get you know, that to be a part of that next iteration of the Bulls. That, man, if you had Jordan on that team, that would have been crazy. He didn't get to age out gracefully in the game. What do you guys think? Do you believe that the Warriors have an opportunity to be better than the Bulls 90s dynasty? Let's start with the older gentleman, the elderly here. Joel, what's your thoughts?
You guys are funny.
I know. He hates us.
Nah, you know, until they win 7, no. So this is a very good. This is more of a Lakers Magic kind of comparison. You know, Magic won 5 out of 9. You know, so until they get to 7, Chicago will always be number 1. Outside of, I mean,
Boston.
you hate to discredit Bill Russell getting 11 rings, but that was a totally different league and a totally different amount. Less teams.
Yeah,
the pool was different than it was now. This is of the modern NBA. No, that will not. You know, it's a better run than some of the greats that we've had already. You know,
for sure. I think the question that the reason that you can bring the question up, right, is because we're at year. This will be their 6th final in 8 years, very comparable to the Bulls, even though Jordan won all 6 of his. And the only reason he didn't get 8, according to Stacey King, is because he left to go chase curveballs.
I have a theory about that, though.
Yeah,
I don't think
we've all got a theory about that.
Well, I'm just my personal opinion about it. My opinion is that he would have always got 6. I don't think they would have never got. I don't think they would have got 8 because
Houston.
No, they could have probably beat Houston. It's just that Mike, you know, you're running. He was playing a lot, so he gets a year off. I mean, Mike got a lot of rest. I mean, think about the 86 year. When he comes back, he had almost the whole year off. He's fresh legs and he's torching Boston. You know, they didn't win, but like he's had time off to where he was able to regroup, refresh. So fresh legs. So I don't know if they actually can make that sustained run. He was tired by 98. You know, you could tell that team limped to that last championship. So I don't know.
That's the difference, right? That's the difference there. Why I say the Warriors, I believe that the Warriors do have a shot to pass up the 90s dynasty. I'm not saying that they're there now. Again, this is not players. Of course, I don't think that the Warriors have a player on their team that's better than Michael Jordan. I put Steph above Scottie Pippen. Steph's above Scottie Pippen for me. But when you're talking about, like you just said, Jordan was tired. You're talking about a guy who literally was like, hey, this team's on my back. We're going. We're making these moves. We're making this happen. Steph doesn't have to deal with that right now, right? Like you're looking at this team, and Ringo, we want to hear from you as well. You're looking at this team where you're talking about, Steph, Clay, and Dre are still playing at an elite level. Oh, by the way, Jordan Poole just figured out he can be a 30-point-a-game guy. Oh, guess what? Gary Payton Jr. realizes, hey, I can play defense in this era.
You got Wiggins. You got Wiseman.
Hey, I've got these moves. Oh, and these guys are all still 26, 27. What's Poole? 25, 24?
Poole is still mad young.
He's still mad young, right? He might only be 22, actually, right? Because he came out at 18, 19.
Yeah. I think 19.
Really, I know that much. But I mean, when you look at it, right, it's like you said, Jordan didn't have that.
Yeah, Jordan Poole's 22.
22. So what do you think on it, Ringo? Do you think that this Warriors dynasty will be better than the 90s Chicago Bulls when it's all said and done?
I think they will. I'm just for me it's like this. Mike said that Jordan and like I said, this is not a slight. This is not a slight to the 90s Bulls, but it's that Jordan. They said Jordan left.
Mad because we had these conversations and Muzz get mad because they'd be like, you're disrespecting the book. It's like, no, I'm asking which is the best of the best of the best.
That's why I had to put that in there before I started. Stacey says Jordan left to go chase curveballs, which is why they didn't get 8. You can make the argument that The Warriors didn't get 8 because Clay got hurt. Like, so that's the first part about it. I think the second part about it is you're absolutely right. Steph kind of doesn't have to deal with the type of stuff that Jordan had to go through. And you got to remember he I think he broke his wrist and he was out I want to say all season one of those years out of the two. So then if you turn around and look at that again, like you said, Poole's starting to play out of his mind now. You got Moody that's coming up. Kaminga looks like he's gonna be a solid piece. With Wiggins, for what it's worth, by the way, Nick, right? You said 2 years ago that they was gonna pay Andrew Wiggins $93 million over the next 3 years and not get a chip. Yeah. So they got all these pieces in place to continue to add, and Steph and Clay at minimum are still gonna be shooters, and if you keep adding to what they already have with that Steph, Clay, and Draymond thing, that they're already superior to anybody else.
This team is
already superior to anybody else. Nobody's stopping them. There's nobody in the league that if everybody's rolling and the management and everything in place, nobody's stopping them. So they'll get to I want to say about 7 or 8.
Yeah, this is a well managed. Like the organization has just done a great job. Even the fact the move that they were able to sign Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
like the way they've been positioned, they're just great management. I mean, you can't deny that. On top of getting good talent, and then to sit there, Wiseman is what, the number 2 pick, number 3 pick.
Wiseman was 2 because
Wiseman was 2.
One was Anthony Edwards.
So
Melo was 3.
Yeah, Wiggins was the number 1 pick. You know, they did that before. They had the number 1 pick the first time they were winning. They had the Aussie dude, the center from Milwaukee. Like they still got good talent. Bogut, yeah. So they're able to cycle. They're doing what Boston had been trying to do to preserve Larry Bird.
Yeah,
and so they learn what they clearly learned from something, because I think they built a Pistons type team, and they tried to manage it like Boston did by drafting and being shrewd, getting those picks. The Lakers did the same thing. They got James Worthy. They somehow finagled and got the number 1 pick. Yeah. So they got one of the greatest scorers of all time, Magic, another number 1 pick, and then Worthy, a number 1 pick, plus the other lottery picks. Like, of course they're going to have a dynasty, but what Golden State is doing, they're preserving Steph. Steph can go probably almost to 40 years old, and he's like 34.
That's why the question comes in, right? Because to me, you're talking about a player that, I agree with you. Steph can absolutely go to probably 35, 36 years old when it's all said and done, maybe to 40, because you have to be impressed if you're a basketball fan. Listen, I get, like, some people come out here and it's C-Red Nation no matter what. I'm with you. I'm C-Red Nation. I got 36 inches of bull head back there. You know what I'm saying? I got a Bulls chain on right now. It is what it is.
Bulls hat.
But as a basketball fan, you have to understand, we're watching a team be built similar to how Bill Russell's Boston Celtics were built, to where, we're starting to get a little old, re-up. We're starting to get a little old, re-up. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to stick around. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure that the Spurs felt the same way. But how many championships can you get before it goes? I mean, if everybody's back, we're watching Golden State dominate the NBA. Like you said, Ringo, missing 3 very key pieces to this team. They lost Gary Payton. They end up losing Wiseman, which he's got a ghost injury at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't even the full Golden State Warriors team. And yet, we're talking about this team in the light of, hey, they're going for their 4th championship in
6 years.
In 8 years overall, and they've been to 6 finals in 8 years. Like, that's crazy when you think about that. Like, how we're watching this team be built.
Yeah,
It's a completely like you shouldn't, based on how the NBA is set up, you should not be able to build a team this way.
Yeah.
Like honestly. So I don't know, bro. Like I really feel like I love my Bulls, the C-Red Nation to death for me, but like I really feel like when it's all said and done, this Warriors dynasty could be.
It's number 2. Well, if they win 7, they go number 1. So you got to get 7 rings.
I think you do got to get 7 rings, but I think this is the one dynasty that I feel has the best shot at it.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm happy to see. I like the way that they're built. I can't be mad at them. Like I remember, nothing hurt more than seeing our whole infrastructure go to LA, and then they just run off a whole nother 3 rings. With Shaq and Kobe. Like watching our coach with some of our players like Harper, Horace Grant was over there, like all of that, and to see like we couldn't keep that sustained excellence here. So I'm not mad to see like a homegrown team and the way that they built that squad. I mean, they did a good job. No one expected that team. That's why I could never hate on Golden State, because nobody was high on Steph Curry like that. He was always getting hurt. His ankles was always bulky. Clay was a good shooter. I remember when they drafted him. Huh?
I said he did have baby deer ankles for a little while.
Yeah, he did. So like for them to grow and go get over the hump, man, I'm happy for them, and I can't be mad at what they're doing. Like my question is, who's going to be the other dynasty to go up against them?
Your Chicago Bulls. Shout out to Sonny Lamont, by the way, for the super chat. Dropped it. Good morning, bros. If Jordan doesn't retire, he would have won 8 championships in a row. Bulls are the greatest dynasty ever. They're not. Like, let's be real. The 90s, I don't think that they're the Bulls are the greatest dynasty ever, even just based on the run that the Lakers had and then adding Magic to that.
Nah, you still got to win 6. You got 2 3-peats.
How can we take away, like, where do we start the line that doesn't really count as real basketball?
What doesn't really
count?
I'm
saying like we always, like, even JJ Redick gets on there and says they were playing against plumbers and stuff. Like, where does the line start of like that's not real basketball, and then all of a sudden it's real basketball?
No, technically you have to respect the eras that everybody plays. So they dominated the competition at that time. What the Lakers did, I think what it was is like Mike was motivated because of Magic and Bird, right? He couldn't beat none of those guys. Isaiah beat both of them to win the championships. And Mike finally beat them later, but he was motivated to beat them. So now his mentality is, I got to go uber hard and get the 3-peat just so that I'm the first one to do that.
Right.
Then does it again. So it's like, he still had to win and dominate. It's still a mental fortitude. There's still a whole, there's a whole mentality that you have to have just to even do that. So he dominated, because when he finally got on, it was like, what did he say? They can't beat us until we quit. And that's
I mean, true. I get you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the Lakers kind of re-up, because when did the Lakers win before Magic got there? What, 73?
The Lakers got like, well,
before that it was like 20-something years, but what is it? It's like 73.
They won in 69. Yeah, they won the one championship with Jerry West and
right,
and Wilt Chamberlain. Like,
and then they was off for 4 years, 5 years, and re-upped.
I think they count the 50s championships or something, like George Mikan or something like that. I think.
Well, I know they count them. I mean, the Lakers were dominant, 49, 50, 52, 53, 54. Like that mug. Hey, talk about LeVar Ball. Never lost.
Most of those, they got 5 in the 80s, right? And then they get another 3 in the 2000s, right? So they got 8. But I think they're close to Boston, where Boston's got like 17 or.
It's just one of those things that when I look at it, right, I got to ask the question of where's the cutoff? Like, the Bulls is the 90s. Magic and them was the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Boston, how many did Bird end up getting? 4?
3.
Bird got 3. So Bird's not even really in the conversation with it. The Celtics not really in the conversation with it.
No, but they were in, dude. That's
Well,
what I
every
said this
final
morning.
getting beat, but
Every finals was
Yeah.
Lakers and Celtics 80 to 89.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, nah. I was gonna say, like going back to the point that Joe made earlier, like he said, who would be the team to challenge them? I've been on a mindset. I've been saying this, you know, since I've been on the show. Boston fumbled the bag with Danny Ainge when he was running things. If you go out and I know this is a big if now, but if you would have went out and then you would have pulled the trigger on those 2 picks that you had when you had Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown flourishing, and then you went to the 2 ECFs, we could have been talking about them possibly challenging Golden State, because you look at it at the time. You had Anthony Davis, you had Boogie, prime Boogie at that. So it's just like you know, it probably would have been Boston.
now, like let's not act like the Mugs ain't 25. Like
You said
Jason
what?
Tatum right now is what, 24? How old is Tatum? He's like 24, 25. Like
But Tatum is 25.
you've got Time Lord in there now. Like I think that's probably the dynasty that could challenge them year in and year out. Unfortunately, hopefully the Bulls.
But it could have been Boston though, with the myriad because they already had everything in place, and with the myriad of picks, if you add to that, you never know.
Well, what we've seen is that myriad of picks really doesn't mean anything over the years. Philly, Boston,
they mean something if you trade them. By the way, Tatum is 24 right now.
Even in Philly.
Well,
I mean, even in Philly, if you pick Tatum over Fultz, I mean we may be having a completely different conversation.
But that's doesn't matter right now, because what we're looking at. Well, my question is, what other, based off of a dynasty, right? It's from the top down. What type of organization is building a real team, a real contender for sustained excellence over a number of years, where you have competitive basketball? Like a lot of these teams feel one and done. Milwaukee is feeling one, and to me, Milwaukee won because Kevin Durant and them just couldn't get it done. They got hurt, they got old. Milwaukee got in there and got one. Boston, no one expected Boston to be like that. We're all expecting Brooklyn or Philly to come out of the East. So does Tatum, because this happens, does he become the next star, or is he just basically in the limelight for another year? Because there's who's the other team to go up against this juggernaut that's over there in the West?
I'll be honest with you. I think that he's just in the spotlight for this year, because I'm looking at Brooklyn. Like if they turn, if KD comes back with Kyrie, say what you want to say about Kyrie, you get a full season of being. They still have 2 first-round picks. They're not done. They're trying to bring a championship to Brooklyn. I think they would do that. Even if they got rid of Kyrie, you just retool with Kevin, those two second-round picks, and possibly a Ben Simmons, who's you actually got younger. I could see them doing it. I mean, Phillies, I'm not gonna say they're getting older, but there is a concern with Joel Embiid's health. James Harden, with everything he's got going on. So I would probably have to say, if it was between Philly or Brooklyn, I would have to pick Brooklyn. Because KD can go till he's 40.
I would pick Boston as the dynasty that rivals that could rival them, that could be built, that could rival them. Because to me, right, like Boston has everything in place there in the ECF right now, and Jason Tatum doesn't turn 25 till next season.
They got a good team. I just don't know. Like, it's one thing, like how the Spurs were with Duncan. Like, you had there's a shot where everybody's fighting and to duke it out between the Lakers and the Spurs. It was one of them two winning something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like Jason Kidd had a run with the Nets where they went to the finals twice, but it's like that team, you know, Philly, to me, that's not going to work. I think James Harden is aging out. I think Brooklyn's aging out. Will be interesting to see what we do here in Chicago. Where do we actually make what key piece or two are we going to make us? We have a good team after 1 year, and see how this team really melds together. Like the identities are being established, you know.
Yeah.
So does Chicago actually come out of the East? Because I from what Acme has done has been pretty good so far after 2 years.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I look at it as like when you're talking about building dynasties, the Bulls are in just as good a position as anybody right now, but for similar reasons as to how Golden State was built, for similar reasons to what Boston is.
Yeah.
The thing is, you need pieces to hit that you don't know if they're going to hit. You know what I'm saying? You need the Patrick Williams to hit. You need Ayo Dosunmu to become our version of basically what they did with Jokic, where year one he showed that he was better than what we expected. Year two, he's a star. Like you need pieces to hit. That you're not going to win in this NBA without having a legitimate superstar.
True. But the thing is, can we get a homegrown superstar that's going to be here versus a hired gun? You know, because
if we get a hired gun, I ain't gonna lie to you. Zach LaVine KD won out, and Zach LaVine's on the chopping block. Hey, Zach, I love you. I'll see you later, brother.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm not above hiring a gun to shoot somebody for me.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, like, you know, it's one thing to get a guy, and you know, like we had Dwayne Wade, right? And he was here, cool, and he went to the playoffs, and he was gone. Like, you know, you're not here for the long haul versus like, you know, can we get a 8-year, 10-year run type of thing? We've seen it.
These guys are here for a good time, not a long time. You know, I haven't had a good time in a long time.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. I think the interesting thing when you're talking about, like, just talking about the dynasties, right? You have to be in amazement at what Golden State has done when you're looking at even how they built their dynasty and how, like, where are we gonna rank Golden State's dynasty? Not even Golden State, really, because like I think we kind of did that yesterday with the all-time top 5 teams. Well, yeah, I guess so.
That was so fun.
Where would you rank Golden State's dynasty right now, and where do you think it would finish? Right, like Joe, you got the Bulls dynasty as the number 1 dynasty, greatest run in the modern NBA.
Yeah.
Is Warriors 2? Are Lakers still 2? Are either iteration of are Kobe's Lakers 2 or Magic's Lakers 2? I hate
no. It's right now it's Mike and then Magic's Lakers, and then because you got
Magic Lakers
4
over Kobe Lakers,
and then Kobe got what? Oh, Kobe's got 4, right?
Kobe's got 5.
Kobe got 5.
Oh, he did get 5. He got
Kobe got a 3-peat and a repeat.
Yeah, but that was Shaq and Kobe with the 3, and then Kobe with, you know, like
Kobe with Powell and the rest of them.
Right, like that. This was Magic's squad. Okay?
Well, it's Kobe's Lakers.
Well, it was Shaq
Magic Lakers.
No, it was Shaq and Kobe's Lakers.
Shaq Kobe's Lakers.
Oh God. No. Okay.
No, because Shaq goes to Miami, and they won right after that when they got Dwayne Wade. They would have had 2 if Dwayne Wade doesn't get hurt.
Hey, Ringo, what them finals numbers for Shaq look like?
he got 4. Okay, you know, for sake of argument, I don't care. Fine. If you want
to GP and Shaq. So, hey, shut up, get D-Wade the ball.
No, but Duncan is another one. Like, where would you rank Golden State's dynasty currently? Because I ain't gonna lie, Duncan's
I
is
would
weird because
say-
Duncan's is like 5
He's
over
got 5.
legitimately 20
Nah,
years.
hey, Duncan's is mad spaced out. We can't. It's like mad
is
spaced
that a
out. I
dynasty?
don't think it's
They had a run.
as up there as people think. I would have to say when it's all said and done, I think Golden State will be one just because of the way that they're able to retool that. I've never seen I've never seen a team built like this, like organizationally from like top to bottom. So I think they'll be number one when everything is all said and done. I think right now they're probably 3, but they'll be one.
Yeah, I agree. I think if the way they're built and the way that this organization is ran, yeah, they could be. I'm not foolish enough to be like, no, the Bulls. I mean, like, you got to win. If they win 7,
Yeah.
and especially over, they could probably win 8. But first of all, they got to win number. What is this, 4?
Yeah.
So
They got to win 4. They got to win 4.
They got to win number 4.
Bro,
so they can even move up.
They're winning.
Everybody in the East Coast is on the Eastern Conference is really just invited to Steph Curry's
Steph Curry invitation.
You're right, but they should have beat Toronto, and they ended up getting hurt. So it's nothing that's guaranteed, but they should. They're supposed to win.
That is true.
Because Toronto should have never won that championship. No,
that would change. That would change everything, right? Like, you don't wish injury on anybody, but that would absolutely change everything. Like, you see Clay go down and Steph go down, he's just like,
yeah,
Boston finna get another ring, dog. Like,
yeah.
I'm just glad everybody acknowledges that they should have beat Toronto. Like, even Serge, not yet.
I think you had to acknowledge it when you saw KD come in, drop Muggs off, and then snap his
Achilles, and then Clay.
Achilles.
Then Clay goes up for a dunk and tears his knee.
Yeah, no. It was one of the that was one of those where it was like, up, KD's back, finals. It literally was like, finals is over. It literally, like, KD came back in, and you instantly were just like, Golden State got another one.
Yep. That was, they were going to run them boys, and then he ends up getting hurt.
Yeah.
So they should win this. They should win this one. This gives them 4, but I mean, now you got to run. You still got to win 3 more of this.
Well,
yeah,
and that's why I said, like, the thing is, right? Like, does Steph have to continue being the number 1 option, or can he kind of like pass the torch on to Jordan Poole or pass the torch on to James Wiseman? Like that, I think that's the scariest part about the Warriors when you're having this conversation this early on, because you're talking about a dynasty that is re-upping, very much similar to how the Spurs did with theirs, right? Like, as soon as you thought the Spurs were, these are the old guys, Kawhi Leonard joins the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, granted, he didn't end up staying around, which is a whole different thing. We don't know that.
You got, so what the difference is that you're shooting. You can shoot to your high road you can be, like Ray Allen went from dunking on cats, and taking it to the hole to just being a 3-point specialist. So Steph could still essentially do that for a long time, and Clay is only 2 years younger than Steph. So, and how old is Draymond? Draymond up there. He right around the same age. Yeah. So they have a good 3-year run before it really starts to tail off, But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So here's the question, right? Let's say Steph does get 4. They win their 4th championship this year. You said what?
I said this is the conversation I was waiting on.
Yeah, let's say Steph does get 4. By the way, are the Spurs a dynasty?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
99, 03, 05, 06, 14.
They got 5 of them.
Pass the torch to Wiseman.
Tim Duncan got all 5 of them.
He do, but it's over a long stretch of time. Are we calling that a dynasty?
They had to retool though.
Hey,
the Lakers won 5.
They basically had their hand.
normally I'll just throw comments up there. That's funny. Pass the torch to Wiseman. They can't even pass him the ball yet.
Hey, the funny thing is, Kenny Beecham posted last night. He was like, "Hey, bro, why is so when they had the champion the little trophy celebration, he was like, "Hey, bro, Wiseman is legitimately sitting in the back like he got an A on the project." Like,
oh man.
oh man, that was funny.
So here's the question though. When it's all said, if Steph just gets 4, if he ends on 4, other very notable players who we view as some of the best in NBA history, top 2 in the NBA, only have 4 in a LeBron James. Shaq has 4. Where does Steph rank all time among best players in the NBA?
There was some cats was talking about that on some of the shows. It's like, we gotta write. I need a piece of paper.
I mean, listen, we all know no matter if you're a Jordan fan or Bron fan, they're 1 and 2. However you want to order it.
Well, I think
I'm dropping
I think
LeBron
he's
down
one among point guards, but when you say all-time players,
I
mean, Kareem. People
he's
really
still among point guards. He gotta get more than Magic. Like Magic was free.
Yeah, you
can't disrespect Magic game out of
you
here.
haven't beat Magic.
I'm not disrespecting him.
Yeah, like LeBron. No, I can't. You can't say he's not a great player. He's definitely one of the greatest. He's not the top 2. Just because you can get all the way there and still lose, and you needed everybody else to help you get there. No, I'm. For me, okay.
I mean,
you got Mike.
So did Steph. So did Mike. Like everybody needs somebody to help you get there.
You do need help. I understand that, but it's like not disrupting the entire league and the level of competition for you to get to it, and you still didn't win.
Yeah.
He's the only.
Let me weaken the entire Eastern Conference. Say what?
He's the only person to do that though.
That's because they can do it now. The player movement and free agency and things of that nature. But
is Steph? Well, let's start here.
Okay,
is Steph a top 5 player in NBA history?
Top 5. Jeez. You got Mike, Magic. He had to do Kobe. I can't even hate on Kobe.
Kobe's on there for me.
Can't hate on it.
Without that list, they put Kobe 10th greatest player all time. By the way, that was wild.
Without Magic and Bird, you don't have the NBA because they had to do what they had to do.
Yeah.
You still got Shaq. You got like Olajuwon. So like when you put Curry in there, like Isaiah Thomas gets no love, but Isaiah Thomas was a whole problem.
Curry is above IT for me now.
I think if you actually compare Isaiah Thomas's numbers to Steph, Isaiah actually still has better numbers than him. This
offensively, he's a better two-way player than Steph was for sure. But
so you got Mike, LeBron, Kareem, Magic,
Kobe.
Nah, he's not top 5.
Where's my
list?
list?
Is he top 10 all time?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
okay.
He's moving up.
That's why
he's the greatest shooter,
it, right? That's why I asked it, right? Because I mean, like you're talking about we want to put.
Nah, he's 10.
That's the thing.
He's
that's
10.
the thing. We want to box him in to he's the greatest shooter of all time. Like he don't do nothing else on the court. Steph be out there playing ball. Like he's arguably the second. I don't even know if it's arguably at this point. If you argue, and I'm confused with what you're looking at, he's the second greatest point guard of all time. By the way, Isaiah Thomas's middle name is Lord.
Yes, it is.
That's a wild boy.
Dwayne Wade is a whole problem too, though. Like Dwayne Wade is one of the.
Is Dwayne Wade top 10 all time?
I mean, dude got blocks, steals, scoring.
His stat sheet when it was all said and done is ridiculous.
Dude, Dwayne Wade, like people sleep on. They see the blonde hair now.
Hey, he leads like he's the leader for I think blocks among shooting guards all time.
Yeah. You still got Iverson. I could put Steph Yeah, I'm going Mike, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq. You got Bird. You got
I think the reason for the question though is guys that with similar accolades we put as possibly top 10. Similar championship accolades, I should say.
yeah.
But we don't put Steph in there mostly because he's a small point guard. Like even Magic is in there, right? But Magic is in there probably in people's top 10 because he's 6'10".
Well, no, once Magic got there, it was time to, they started. It was winning time. It was winning time.
It was winning time. By the way, check out winning time on HBO Max. Not sponsored.
It's good, but it's wild.
Yeah.
Good show, man. Wild.
Yeah, a little, definitely a little exaggerated in certain things, but yeah.
Is it though?
Well,
what I'm hearing.
Hey, he do got a point because it was in the 80s.
Well,
it
the
was
way
in the 80s, bro.
Well, the way they did Jerry West, the way they did.
Yeah, I'm saying they said Michael Jordan was backing out of the room with cocaine in it.
Yeah.
I mean, so listen, what Jordan, Bron, Kareem is probably 3 all time, right?
I would put LeBron 6 because Mike, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq, or Kobe. Maybe you put LeBron.
The thing is, you got to also take into account whether he disrupted the NBA or not. LeBron's probably going to finish as the highest scoring player in NBA
all-time scorer. Yeah, that's true.
Where is he on the all-time blocks? Like Bron's got the accolades outside of just he won championships, which he did win championships. I know we like to discredit some of them, but he did win championships. Those are you can't discredit.
I would say he's 3 right now for me. Once he passes Kareem, he'll be 2.
Mike, Kareem, Magic.
I can live with that.
I could put LeBron 4. Oh,
and then
you forget about Russell. But see, the hard part about the Russell and Chamberlain, even like the Jerry West nobody, we're all watching highlights.
They're top 10. No, me and Kid watched some games. I ain't gonna lie. Bill Russell blocked like 10 shots in 8 minutes. Like they didn't count blocks. They didn't count blocks, bro.
We watch games around
here. Somebody's gotta go back and count all of Bill Russell's blocks for him, bro. Because y'all are disrespecting him by not letting him have his blocks, bro.
but isn't that the plumbers and electricians comment?
See, that's why I asked that, right? Like where does the NBA suck?
What up, Chicago guards?
You know what I'm saying? Like where does the NBA, like where do we start counting these guys were good? Because if we being real, like Jerry West, a lot of his Jerry West would have been able to compete with Steph Curry in today's NBA because a lot of his shots were from the 3-point range deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying? So, like, I mean, for me, I think Steph jumps a lot of the names that a lot of people probably would have in front of him. I mean, Jordan, he's not jumping him. Bron, he's not jumping him. Kareem, he's not jumping him. Magic, he's not jumping him. For me, Kobe's also well, he could jump Magic. I shouldn't say that, but right now I think he's got to win 5 to jump Magic because Magic also has all the other accolades to go with.
Right. Yeah. The more he wins, the more he rises. Right now, he's probably 7 or 8. Because you got Mike, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, LeBron, Shaq. You can't.
I'll say this
in that top 6.
To me, Steph is past Larry Bird.
Yeah, I got Bird at 7 right now. If I could drop him to 8. Isaiah would be 9. Yeah.
And it's okay as we get further in the NBA. I need us to understand as we get further into the NBA, it's okay to start dropping some of these old dudes off. Not to say that they're not great, right? You don't have to drop them to 100, but like it's okay to say Bill Russell is not a top 10 player all time anymore. He's got 11 rings. Like, yeah, I agree with you, but like Bill Russell in the modern NBA might have been a lot more like a Rudy Gobert. He'd have been the player that he was, 15 and 22.
Okay, you remember we're playing with different rules. But we're playing with different rules too. Like you can't do what they used to do, so that they didn't develop a certain skill. They probably could have played depending on what it is. But at their era for what they're doing, yes. I mean, clearly Russell dominated, but it was less teams. You know, it's a different ball game in terms of athleticism. The real athleticism really takes off, honestly. Like Dr. J, Skywalker, David Thompson.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys were one-offs. Like, yeah, they were fluky kind of guys back in the day. When you watch those old dunk contests and that type of athleticism.
And the dunk was, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, but at that
my
time,
God. He touched the rim.
Right. At that time, that was unheard of. But today's athlete, I mean, Michael Jordan ushered the new athlete where now you got guys, Vince Carter, guys all over, Jason Richardson. I mean, who was the guy that was like, he had all the athletic ability, but he was in dunk contests all the time. I think he played for like Boston. I think he blew the cupcake. He blew the cupcake. You know, like it was like you got.
You talking about who blew the cupcake? Spud, right?
No, not Spud, but it was like there was tons of guys. All these guys.
Tiny Archibald.
No, I'm talking about in like the 2000s. I'm talking about recently. Like there are more athletic guys now.
Gerald Green.
Thank you, CJ the Truth and Smitty Q. That's what I'm talking about. Baki, there you go.
Hey, I went back. I thought y'all was talking about. You was talking about back in the day.
I'm saying recently because the point is that these guys are more athletic now.
Yeah.
So the skill set is a lot different than what we had even from 80, basically from 90 on is when you started to see a more modern athlete. But really by 2000s, that's when the guys was flying everywhere.
No, yeah, 100%. No, I agree with you. That's why I say it's okay to take some of these dudes off. Like, you don't gotta like disrespect him and be like, they couldn't play in today's NBA. That's stupid. He's 7'1" with a 7'5" wingspan. He can play in today's NBA.
Well, either way,
you also like listen. I also don't expect Wilt to have another 100-point game or average 50 for a season.
Yeah. Well,
like that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen because the level of competition is different. So, I mean, he definitely dominated
because they're not going to go to one player that much.
And yes, and that's like I said, the rules are so different now that you can't even. They've eliminated the big man from being able to just camp out and dominate in the paint. Now these guys.
The other thing too, no 3 seconds. Watching old NBA clips with no 3 seconds is wild, bro. I'm talking about.
Yeah. Or you know what? I mean, think about it too. Like the scoring.
I see you. You see me.
The scoring is different. Like you used to have some of our Bulls games was like it was 100 to 89. You know, like hey, we got 120 points one night. You know,
that was 10 years ago.
I'm just saying in the 80s though, but you would have 85 to 90 scoring games because it was just a different style of basketball. So, you know, the players today is a lot different. But anyways. For Steph, the more he wins, the more he moves up. Will he?
So he's cracked your top 10.
Yeah, I would put definitely yes. Just off his shooting prowess alone, there he is, the petty man,
the pettiest man alive, coming in here with that Magic jersey fitting tight now.
That's extra.
Hey, dog, listen. I'm in the gym, baby. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got this.
Extra medium on right now.
Hey, no, it's a large. Don't worry about it. Your boys is out here.
What you trying to prove?
Hey, listen, I'm not pushing P. Don't worry about that.
Hey, the stars on the jersey is his nipples poking through. That's what that is.
Hey, I was gonna say, hey man.
Hey man, don't worry about it.
Oh! Steph said, "Hey, we can do the shirt off right now."
If this is really trying, we can do that.
Guns out, man.
We can do that.
Listen, you got to give me 6 weeks for this cut. I'm going through a process right now, my boy. I'm going through a process. You gotta let me go through my process.
It is hilarious, no matter what.
I respect your process, but I'm saying, hey, if you want to do that,
hey, right now you might get me. But just respect the process. That's all.
I'm like, I respect your process, but don't nobody give up about that. Let's
hey man, don't never let nobody speed up your process.
Hey, Steph, the dude. Steph got the.
I respect him though. Hey, do you, bro?
I will say this: Steph will catch you off guard, bro. Like I came to pick him up one day, and he wasn't fully ready, so he just had on like a tank top, and I was just like, "You been jacked this whole time?"
It was the day we was going to do the commercial.
We was going to do the commercial. He just had a tank top on. It's like, just been jacked this whole time. Never said nothing. Never lifted nothing.
He's a modest man.
What is this?
He's a modest man. I like it. Shout out to Steph.
But if I tell you this, he get you in a headlock, it's over. I mean, listen, as the pettiest man alive enters, this is his kind of conversation. I said when I sent the topics out, he probably got a little excited. Where would you rank Steph all time right now? Based on all time as a player in the league, because for some reason, whole point is like, for some reason, when we get PGs with accolades that are smaller players with similar accolades, we be like, yeah, no, he ain't really on the list. Yeah, I'm saying Isaiah Thomas don't crack a lot of people's best point guards all time list, which baffles me. But it's like, did you watch him?
Yeah, he's top 10 all the time. Oh yeah, he's definitely top 10.
Steph is top 15 for me.
15. Wow. He went 5. He dropped 5.
I can add some color to it.
Please expound.
Steph in this era of basketball is a phenomenal scorer. But Steph, for all intents and purposes, is no different than what Jerry West was. Jerry West, same actual career average, same assist totals, was an actual better defender. It's a freaking logo for a reason. Jerry West dropped nearly 26,000 points without a three-point line. So you knew he was getting to the bucket.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
But Jerry West is nowhere considered a top. Is barely considered top 20. Blasphemous, in my opinion. Considering he's not considered
he gets
top
love,
20.
but the problem is
top 20.
The modern NBA.
Well, we look at it kind of similarly, though. We look at old era players similarly.
Yeah, and if you look at it, very similar player, but the knock on Jerry West is he has one ring, but he went to the finals 8-9 times, and he had to play against Bill Russell and his loaded team the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and this is even before I saw Winning Time. Winning Time kind of was just like comical to me. It was like a comical spin on how he became an executive in a roundabout way.
Right.
But like the PTSD he may have suffered from that may have really been real. He lost.
They do say that he didn't want to go to Boston. They took some truths and exaggerated it. That's all. There's a lot of truth of Winning Time, but this is exaggerating some things. But
so Steph without Clay, Draymond, and stuff like that, I see a Jerry West type player. Still a great player.
That's anybody.
But yeah, like
that's anybody. That's Magic without Kareem.
Jordan without Pippen.
Jordan without everybody.
Yeah. Brian literally without leaving Cleveland.
Without Kareem though, and he did.
What?
Brown without
Magic had years to prove himself without Kareem, and he did.
No, he didn't. Barely. I mean, they got the one finals.
So before Magic gets there,
Kareem was on that team though.
No, the last finals against Michael Jordan, Kareem wasn't there.
Kareem retired in '89.
The year so what I'm pretty much saying is, even with Magic, and again, you all could go look at it. Magic really was someone who transformed the Lakers, right? The Lakers really weren't a dominant team before the '80s.
No,
there was Boston Celtics.
Yeah, it was
the Celtics were up and down. They had
Celtics in Philly.
They had Havlicek and Milwaukee was a decent team too.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So Magic comes in, and just like Bird going to Boston, which is now I now have a better appreciation for what they did for the game of basketball and what they did for those storied organizations, because they really did turn those organizations around and dominated a whole decade of basketball. They really did.
They turned around the whole league.
Yeah, they saved the league.
They made
Magic and
Bird
saved the league.
Their rivalry is what made the league great, because it's like, I got to beat this dude. It came from college.
Literally, it went from Magic's first finals being just on TV to is that facts, Baki? Baki is our resident our resident Adam Schefter. According to Baki, at this moment, Gary Payton II will
get this
return for the
mail
NBA
thing figured out. I've sent out Baki's thing, and they sent it back to me. It was like, that person doesn't live there. I was like, no, I clearly tell he knows he lives.
Gary Payton Jr. or Gary Payton II is expected to return in the NBA Finals. That's crazy. That
works. You got some defense. Okay,
you got some defense.
Second team, great.
Who do you take off your top 10 if Steph is top 10? Because it's a 10
Steph's
is
above Larry Bird. Steph's above Larry Bird for me.
I can't give him that.
That's still
Steph's above Larry Bird for me.
That's still top 10 for me.
It's still top 10. Larry Bird's still in the top 10. But for me,
I don't have Larry. I have Larry as 10 in my top 10.
I mean, like
for me, I go Jordan, I go Bron, I go Kareem. You can interchange Kareem and Bron. It is what it is. Magic is in my top 10. Kobe's in my top 10. Shaq is in my top 10. I would probably put
Wilt's in my top 10.
Duncan next.
Forgot about Duncan.
I would put Steph after Duncan. What is that, 8? I would put Bird in there, and then I would finish it off with Wilt. And if Kevin Durant gets one more, he moves back into there. Right now, for me, KD's 11 just because he went to Brooklyn to try and do it himself again, and nothing has worked out yet.
He's not winning anymore.
I got MJ, I got Kobe.
Listen, he's the best scorer probably in NBA history. I can never say he's not winning anymore.
I agree. He's not winning.
Literally, how people get better off of Kevin Durant is how people want Bron to make people better. Literally, Kevin Durant be like, "No, keep playing your game. Keep whatever you do. What's your game?
I want you to shoot.
Okay, shoot." And then when you get sick of it, I'm gonna put up 30.
It's even more disrespectful. It's like this. Hey, listen, when they finally stop you, I'm gonna be here because this is a guaranteed shot. That's what it is. It's like when you get clamped, don't worry because it's coming. That double gonna come if you get hot. Yeah. I'm right here. Easy money. That's all it is.
Let's not let one interestingly called first round series change our whole view on Kevin Durant. Like, let's be real. They were beating the mess out of Kevin Durant. And then they tried that same defensive game plan, game 1 against Giannis, and Jason Tatum said, "Ah!"
Hey, Giannis was like, "This is a whole different story, my boy. I'm going to carry you to this rim." Hey,
I'm glad. I'll say this about this. This is why already Ime Udoka projects to be a better coach than Bud is. Because he saw that defense in game 1, and Ime said, "Yeah, we're not running that no more."
That ain't gonna work. Hey, but I would say this: the Boston Celtics have a chance if Jason Tatum can consistently show up. But in my opinion, the East still belongs to Giannis. You have to go through Giannis because Chris Middleton being down is like Jason Tatum not having Jaylen Brown.
I don't know if I go that far.
If you don't have Jaylen Brown,
what that mean?
If Jason
Tatum not having Jaylen Brown means way more to me than the Bucks losing Middleton.
No, Middleton is an all-star, 20-some point scorer. Like that's the team. You need your team.
Which game?
You need your closer.
Don't look at them. Don't look at them averages. Look at them game by game.
What I'm saying is that, but that's the team dynamic. When you don't have your full team, that's how they. I'll say
Middleton. I think Middleton hurt them defensively because I think they didn't have enough people to actually guard everything that they could come with.
Man, please, I'm putting Middleton
what?
on Al Horford. I'm putting Middleton on Al Horford, and I'm letting him go to work on the offensive end like he's been doing. Middleton on Al Horford.
Listen,
Al Horford, it was getting busy.
Al Horford was working out the best defender on their team. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Al Horford playoff run right now.
Him, though?
I got to applaud. Giannis was sticking him.
So Giannis can't stick him if he got to deal with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I need Giannis.
I said they don't have enough. They didn't have without Middleton. They didn't have enough defense. I think that part hurt
6'9" with a long wingspan.
Yeah,
I need you to defend this
offensively, y'all know how I feel about Middleton offensively. Like it's like
Middleton is just as consistent as Jason Tatum been in the playoffs. Jason Tatum been dropping 30 and dropping 10 the next game, like all gone playoffs.
Not really. Jason Tatum playoff. It's really this series he has against Miami. He has, but Jason Tatum been cooking. He just his shooting
has several games under 15 points in these playoffs. Multiple games.
He's got 2 maybe, and they both in this series, I think.
Well,
I'm gonna read it down. Milwaukee, first game, 10 points. Miami, 10 points. Where's the other one? Hold on.
That's it.
Let me go back to Brooklyn.
I knew he had 2. I had to run down Jason Tatum's stats because I told Boston Celtics fans he's not a superstar yet, and they was ready to come for my head. It was like, well, we've got to burn him at the stake. I was like, easy there, Boston.
I don't know if he's a superstar. Would you put him over Devin Booker? Because I think Devin Booker doesn't get superstar status.
I think so. Let's cap off this conversation. This is what happened every time kid come in the room.
Hey, I just go with the flow of the thing.
Let's finish this off, and then we can get into that because I think that's a good conversation as well. So you don't have Steph anywhere near the top 10 yet.
I got him at like 12.
I can see that because you still got Wilt on your list.
Wilt's on my list. Kareem's on my list. Tim's on my list. I even got I still got Bill Russell on there.
I got Russell still on there. I think I moved Wilt off to 11, maybe 12 for me.
Bill was like 11 for me, so I got Steph right after that.
It's not. I get the argument. I do. Is he? You said he top 5 for you, right, Ringo? Or top 10 for you?
Yeah, no.
Now hold on. We know top 10 lists are tough for Ringo here. We know lists are tough for Ringo.
Oh, my boy.
Hold on. We're gonna do a demarcation here so that we understand. We're at the 1 hour and 1 minute point, so that when Steph on this list, we can come back and find the video like we don't all see it.
Hey, you know what? That was worse than AD's. Who's above him? Comment.
You know what? Okay. No, that wasn't. All I ain't gonna lie to you. AD might still have it worse.
No,
because at least Steph. This is the thing. Steph still gave all-time players.
Yeah, but he's still
AD said when it's all said and done, Zach LaVine will be the Bulls' best shooting guard of all time. Zach LaVine ain't even an all-time player among the players he playing with right now. Like AD's is pretty bad. AD's is pretty bad, bro.
Who's ahead of him?
Who's above him? Hey, the best part is kid going. Oh, wait a minute.
Did you just say?
Where you got him at right now, Steph? Where you got Steph at, Steph?
So I got Mike. I got Kareem. I got Brian. Right. I got Magic, and then I got Kobe.
I love that.
So yeah, I got him over. I'll say 6. I'm not gonna. I'll say 6.
Shaq?
6. God dang.
Got him over Shaq? I ain't mad at it. Hey, listen, it's his list. How many Shaq got? What I give him. 4.
Yeah, he's about to have 4.
He got to get the conversation is based on if he gets 4. If he gets 3, I ain't gonna lie to you. This whole list is different. But Will, you're back, brother.
But 6, he's about to have 4. So he's 6 for me.
Okay. He's 7 or 8ish for me.
I don't like doing it
because I can't, even though like he hasn't like Bird,
like he changed the NBA.
For me, it's not taking somebody off. It's just I think that like we were talking about, as the NBA keeps going, eventually these old dudes got to move out the top 10. It's not disrespect to them; they're the pillars of the game.
Well,
but eventually,
like doing it this way.
No, but what it is that because Steph,
it's not disrespect to them, but like this is what you want your star.
No, but he's ascending. It's not. It's just someone drops down. He's just ascending because he keeps winning, and he's accumulating more stats in terms of being one of the greatest shooters.
He's absolutely, and that's the thing. He's also got the accolades to go with it, right? It's not just like Brian is so high for me. Like everybody, like I said, everybody wants to disrespect. He's been to 9 finals and he's lost most of them. 100%. I'm with you. You do have to win the finals to be considered as high as it is. But it also goes with the fact that Brian is going to be top 10 on assists, the best scorer probably in NBA history when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And
I won't say
I don't know where he's at on block. Well, most points. He's gonna have the most points. I don't know where he's at on block. He's gonna have
the longevity award. But when you have longevity like that, it's just like Kareem. Kareem had the most points because he had you know what I'm saying?
And he had Magic. He was probably going to retire And when he gets Magic,
listen, I'm not gonna kill a guy for being able to stay in the league longer. Like,
you want to know why I don't say best scorer? Because Karl Malone.
Best is probably the wrong word.
Yeah, Karl Malone and Kareem have had more points than Michael Jordan ever. Like, period. Michael Jordan retired with less points than Karl Malone, with less points than Kareem, and we still said Mike's the guy.
But because Mike only played 13 years, where everybody else played longer.
But best is probably the wrong word, because if I'm being 100% honest, Kevin Durant's the best scorer. Probably.
If I'm being 100% honest, Jerry West not being in the conversation of best scorers of all time, top 5, stupid.
Well, look, we're basing most of this
Jerry
list
West
based off winning too.
Today's NBA would be just as cold.
I mean, but that's how many grades back in the day though.
Yeah, that's like Barkley not getting the list.
I mean, you could say Rick Barry was doing that.
Rick Barry would be a startup shooter in today's NBA.
Rick Barry was doing that. Nah, Rick Barry was nice.
What?
Rick Barry was nice.
You do realize Rick Barry
would be one of the best two-way players in the NBA in today's league.
I understand what we're talking about. I know who Rick Barry is.
That's a lot.
I don't think his game translates like Jerry West does. Jerry West's 2-dribble pull-up is the pivot. Is literally the most unstoppable moves in basketball, because you still can't really defend it. 2-dribble pull-up right now, you can't defend that. That's KD's whole baseline. 2-dribble pull-up. What you doing with it? He's 7 feet.
We could put him in as one of the best scorers all time, but I mean, like, that's still, it's not disrespect. Like, I feel like everybody takes it like, oh, you're not putting him high enough, it's disrespect. It's like, no, like, these are the greats of the greats. Like,
that's why I like to do it by category, like guards, and then we can sit there and have, all right, like shooters as a separate, like they.
But that's not how we talk about
shooters. Are shooters? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are the best shooters? Let's give them their own.
You can do that, but
that's not how you talk about the greatest player of all time. We call Mike the GOAT
because Mike can do it all.
Mike could do it all, but you're putting him above centers. You're putting him above, like, we can't say that Wilt or Kareem couldn't do it all. You know what I'm saying? Kareem could do it all. Kareem could dribble, he could pass, he could defend, he could shoot, he could play, but we're putting Mike above a center, right? Like, it's just how you categorize greatest of all time. I like to break it down as greatest of the era anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Who's the dominant player? Who's the best dominant player of their era, and who did the most winning from that standpoint? Because otherwise, this is just going to be a conversation that you have forever, because no one will ever agree to it.
It will always be a conversation we have.
Exactly. I was with you, Ricky Fontaine, until you said Melo.
Melo's scoring ability. No, Melo's definitely one of the best.
29,000 points.
Yeah, but it was all bully ball to the point of I'm still mad at him for this.
He got 29,000 points with 2 years off.
But you said you're mad at him for what?
He got blackballed out the league. He'd have
a black hole. I said a black hole, and the fact that he destroyed New York, because he could have won.
He wanted the money.
I agree with that.
So that's what disappoints me.
Man, he wanted the bread, man. That's his fault, man. We tried to tell him, come get with a winner.
I agree that Carmelo is probably the one of the best yet most limited offensive players that we've had at his position.
Still should have run Rookie of the Year.
I agree with that. That's a fact. That's a fact, my boy.
Did he?
Cleveland won how many games that season?
Didn't make the playoffs.
I'm not saying
like 36 games.
I'm not saying that kid
Denver was like the fifth seed and made the playoffs.
I already told him that was on Brian. That was on Brian that whole time, because that was just something that they never seen before.
Hey, they was riding Brian like a Bang Bros video.
Who's the most?
I mean,
that's a hard question to ask, because we're no longer in the 2010s. So, like, anything that's happened in the 2020s to this point doesn't count toward the decade of the 2010s. If we have to tell the story of basketball, LeBron ran 2010. 2010 to 2020, that's LeBron's era.
How?
LeBron has definitely been a dominant player. We just mad that he didn't.
Three of the rings that we talking about with Steph came in 2010. Brian got
three of those rings was a consortium of things. Like, Steph didn't do it by himself. He had a consortium of great players.
LeBron literally left to get help.
No,
LeBron literally left to get help.
No, LeBron literally leave to get help. But what I'm saying is, as an individual player, Steph wasn't better than LeBron as an individual player in the 2010s, and LeBron literally did it all.
Nah, but
it doesn't necessarily translate to wins. Like, it doesn't mean that he won the most, but he was the most dominant figure of basketball in the 2010s.
Yeah, he
With
was.
Steph being a close second.
He was the face of the NBA for sure. But like, does
You know
that
I'm
mean
not a
he
fan.
ran the
He was
NBA?
making it to get dropped off.
Well, technically, P-Kid, Kobe was in 2010. LeBron
Yeah,
really
Kobe won what, 2010 in it? No, he won 09,
He won
010, right?
09 and 2010, and then now
10,
LeBron
11.
2011 should have been his coronation, but he lost to Dallas, and then LeBron had
Dirk
the
Nowitzki ran.
I will never forgive him for that. I will never forgive him for that.
Dirk Nowitzki ran 20. Hey, listen. I don't care what Dirk did in that finals. There's not much of Bron's career where you can say like the finals thing, like the fact that he's won finals and lost a bunch, like he's won 4. Like, that's crazy to say. You can't like be like, well, he lost this many. Yeah, well, it's great to lose sometimes.
How many times did Chuck get to the finals?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, great to lose sometimes. But here's the part where there's definitely some moments in Bron's career where you look at it and you be like, yeah, I can guarantee you that would not have happened to Jordan. JJ Barea would not have cooked Michael Jordan.
JJ Barea and Jason Terry.
Hey,
bro, Jason Terry don't get no respect. Y'all got
would not have cooked Michael Jordan.
Hey, he just don't get no respect because Bron caught a body, but
yeah, Bron caught a body the next season.
They still ask him about that to this day, bro. Like,
they do.
Oh,
but
the
year
year before, hey, listen, you get jumped over.
The year before, he was cooking, buddy. So
hey,
Bron
he was.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing.
But
it's about when I Google your name, what pops up.
I also think that today's,
like, if I don't know you and I Google your name and the first thing that pops up is Bron's member right here.
I think people like nowadays look down on people who didn't average over 20 points when in the 2010s and older or prior to that, that was like a really good player.
Well, the scoring, the scoring has went up. The rules for the game is a lot faster. Like the 3-second rule, like you can't camp out like you used to. So yeah, all the scoring is up. All, huh?
Yeah, I'm giving you 18 a game on limited possessions. In a half-court set. Are you crazy?
Yeah, scoring is.
Hey, listen. I googled Jason Terry's name.
You wild.
It's literally picked 8.
Come on, man.
Wow, bro.
Come on, man. I'm just saying.
Hey, it's Jet, Coach, Flex, Jet, Young Terry. Young Terry was wilding out there. Jet, dunked. It's tough. It's tough, right? If I don't know you and I Google your name and the first thing that pop up is Brian looking down on you in despair.
Have you seen that clip? There's a clip where it had like the best dunks, I guess clearly from Wiggins doing what he just did. But they had like the one that gets me was old boy dunked on Brandon from the Pistons. Took his whole soul. Brandon Knight.
Oh my God.
He took his soul.
Hey,
so there's
I ain't heard about Buddy since
so
then.
there's a video. Speaking of that, now he was with Phoenix for a little while after that too.
Yeah,
there's a video. Actually, they were winning. There's a video after that happened. It's one of those videos, like, this was at a time where like the internet was popping, but like you would see something and never see it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me forever because it was clipped together so perfectly. It was like when I first started editing this stuff, it's Brandon Knight. It's the clip of Brandon Knight getting dunked on. And then his buddy like going into this, he falls down and gets up and he's just in this dark room. And he's like, I was just playing a game. What happened?
Right.
Nah, bro, you dead.
Yeah.
Bro, I've never forgot that video to this day. He's like, man, it wasn't even that bad. Oh, really? Let me run it back for you. Yeah. And it was like Brandon Knight in his personal hell, and it was just him like getting crossed by Kyrie, getting dunked off. He was like, I gave you chances to come back. You
Who was
could
that?
do it.
DeAndre somebody? Who was that? DeAndre?
That was DeAndre
Jordan,
Jordan.
yeah.
But he got a couple of them though. Kyrie crossing them over in the rookie sophomore game.
Yeah, he got a lot of. I ain't gonna lie to you. Brandon Knight is on the receiving.
He
end of
got a lot of them.
But they had some other like Blake.
And the crazy
Griffin.
part is he was cooking in that All-Star game too. Like him and Kyrie was really going back and forth. But then Kyrie did that, and that kind of ended it.
Who's the young dude from Minnesota got it done? He went up the elevator on dude where his head was
talking about going up on Yuta Watanabe.
God, like,
hey,
10 times out of 10, if I had another chance, I'd do that again.
Hey,
Blake Griffin.
The only reason why Ja Morant has the best in-game dunks is because all of Batman's good dunks were considered charges except for one.
Ja's best dunk was considered a charge.
When
Ja
jumped
over. First off, I don't care about none of that. I told y'all, hey, the most disrespectful dunk in NBA history is Blake on Timothy Mozgov, bro.
No, Blake.
No, you mean Vince?
Paul Gasol. He dunked on him twice in 2 minutes.
No, bro. When his like
that was Vince Carter
right here, bro. Like you tasting like
Blake got a dunk where he pulls. When he pulls Porzingis' head towards him, dunks on him. Yeah, he got 2 dunks on Paul Gasol.
Blake got him all. And two on KP. Two on Kendrick Perkins.
But you know what though? The one with Pippen dunking on Ewing in the playoffs, because the way that he did it, and then he pushed him down and stood over him like
the push downs are always the most disrespectful.
That's what killed it, because it was like
Shaq
that one
pushing, buddy. When Shaq when Shaq turned around,
the dude's like, "What's the deal, bro?"
You know what the deal is.
The deal is
Sean Kemp.
You know it.
That Sean Kemp dunk.
This is my favorite thing about Shaq, right? Shaq had a mentality of that old school player that I don't think we'll ever see again.
Yeah.
Maybe Luka's kind of doing it, but Luka's athleticism I don't think is enough for it to be as entertaining.
Yeah.
Shaq literally said, I dunked on them and pushed them over because they were disrespectful enough to put them on me. What is that? What, like, Shaq, somebody's got to guard you, brother. We got to put the 7-foot dude on you. He said, I
think
dunked
Giannis
on
could be
him
that guy
and pushed him over.
He was
Disrespectful
just mad.
enough to put him on.
Shaq was just mad at that.
Giannis is going
Shaq
to get
some
pissed
cold
off
moments,
one
though,
time.
like-
We're going to see. We're going to see.
Hey,
Hey,
You've
never seen a pissed off Giannis.
Oh, we did. It just got extinguished by I almost said Jason Terry because he on the screen, by Al Horford.
Nah.
Giannis was pissed off in that game. He was cooking in that game. And Al Horford, and the best part about Al Horford coming back and actually cooking in that game is his wife tweeting right after the picture came out. I've seen that look before. It's usually when I mess something up.
Hey, Ricky Bogus, man. What's up? Why can't we all just get along here? You know, we the most light-skinned podcast.
Ricky profile picture looked like it got a man bun in it. I take everything with a grain of salt, bro.
Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Come on, bro. I heard Ricky and Hayes got a podcast starting up, man. I'm gonna tune into that just to see what Ricky really looked like, so I can start roasting, buddy. Hey, Ricky, was it Ricky? Wasn't it Ricky that I said over on CHGO? They was just like spazzing on him. I sent that to the chat. I was like, they do not like Ricky over there, brother.
No, I think it was somebody else. It wasn't Ricky.
Was it somebody else? It was somebody else.
It might have been. Hey, guess what? The good thing about it is it's in the chat. I'm gonna go find that joint because you know I like to troll.
Bro, that mess was hilarious, bro. Matt Peck said,
I give Kid credit on this. He's the only person who's, if you trying to troll, he will scroll for like a good hour and a half just to see like.
He's a professional troll.
I'm a certified.
Hey, actually, we should.
Kid is a professional troll. Because like Kid will be like,
don't tell my secrets. Don't tell my secrets.
no. Like he'll want to debate with you in moments that don't have debate attached to them. Like me and Ringo were literally just like, man, this game is kind of crazy. And Kid just started a debate out of nowhere.
Hey, like recently, y'all noticed that in the Discord, I said something crazy, right? And the whole Discord just blows up like a good hour. And I'm just sitting back, just feeding the fire, right? I ain't believe a word I was saying. Like, I don't care. It's good entertainment. Y'all don't understand. This is the business.
Hey, listen, I've seen it. I've seen it. That's why I didn't respond. I've seen this
don't
before.
care about half the stuff he say. No, Skip Bayless really don't care about half the stuff he say. Steven ain't got a little pride.
No, Skip do. Because Skip wife was like, when they did the interview with his wife, she was like, "Oh, you don't talk about LeBron at home." By the way, this is Kid in the Discord basically.
Yep. Well, I drop a topic and let y'all go to work, and I chime in every so often. Hey,
dance puppets dance.
Hey, why Hayes said he looked like Isaiah Rashad with dreads. Oh man, hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. As y'all can see, we do talk Chicago sports. We also talk daily sports, national sports on this mug, man. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Now we do got to get into what we're dealing with over here in the Eastern Conference, right?
Hey, quick question. Are we calling the finals?
My plan is to call the finals. So June 2nd, we in this mug.
We in there.
We in this mug. My plan is to call the finals. Me and Ringo called the finals one year, and we was having so much fun with it.
Bro, that was so fun. That was so fun.
Dope. Calling the finals is pretty dope. Now this is the problem, right? I pissed off Boston fans, so they coming in with pure hate. On the other side, Warriors fans are throwing stuff at Chuck, so everybody hates them. Where do we stand on the fan base beef? Honestly, right? Before we get to that, where do we stand on this series being over?
This series is cooked. I don't even want to see Miami in the finals.
I'll agree with that because they're so beat up. I don't want to see them in the finals because I know it would go 4-0.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can say this series is cooked because every single game of this Eastern Conference Finals, we've been like, man, if they play like that in the next game, this series is over. And then they don't.
Wait, where are they playing tonight?
Maybe Boston is done with it, right? Because it's finally 2 in a row where they pretty much dominated. But if you look at the series, bro, you're talking about a quarter in every game. You're not talking about a dominating game from either team. Miami outscored Boston in 2 games, 39-14 and 39-16 in one quarter of the game. The rest of the game, 25-25, 30-29. 19-19. You know what I'm saying? As I can't say this is done because I can't guarantee that Boston won't come out and give us another 14-point quarter.
Is Tyler Hero playing?
Tyler Hero hasn't played in the series even in the games he played.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's over.
Tyler Hero's if Spo can finally get his head out of his behind and realize that he has to play Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson the same way.
Tyler Hero's been hurt.
Well, here's the thing. Even when he wasn't hurt, he wasn't playing them two together to really put that backcourt together. And Duncan Robinson is not that type of player where you just throw him in and expect him to be hot. That's just not his game. It's just not. It hasn't worked for them this entire time. He got $90 million being a starter.
But he started the last 2 games and he's giving you nothing. And he's gotten shots. He took 10 3-pointers in the last game.
Everybody remembers, like, this is a horrible comparison, but it's the last time I could think about a good shooter who we all know is a good shooter who went through a drought. When Ray Allen went through that drought where he was missing everything for like 2 games straight, it told him to keep shooting. You got to keep shooting. You have to let your shooters shoot. Yeah, that's the game. If you sit there and play him like that, you're not going to get the production. You got to give him a shot.
His confidence.
But the difference is, right, you're talking about 2 games. They let Duncan do that for 3/4 of a season. Like he was out there. He was starting. He was the guy. We weren't talking about Max Strus until the last 15 games of the season. Strus came in and started playing, and Spo was like, keep going.
You gotta let shooters shoot.
How long?
This is the thing.
How long though? It's been a year.
And this is why I said I don't want them in the finals, because it's too late to figure that out.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I don't want to see him in the
went
finals.
away with them so early. You have to. You can't do anything about it. Like, you have to take this L. You got to go back to the drawing board. You have to figure that out. But if we're being really honest, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, I'm not saying they're going to be Steph and Clay great, but they could definitely be in the best shooters of the league conversation if you figure that part out. Too. I can't hear you.
Yeah, but that
I said it's the only offense right now too.
As the Heat fan, I want this series to be over, just because like we too banged up. We too banged up.
Yeah, they just
I checked Twitter today. They said Lowry was limping when he got off the bus. Like, Lowry's hurt, Jimmy's hurt, PJ Tucker got an ankle. Like everybody's hurt except for Bam. I think that what needs to happen is we need to lose. Pat is obviously gonna go back to the drawing board to figure out what we need to do. I honestly think we need a post presence beside Bam, but that's just me. But as the Heat fan, I want this series to be over, because
this is the healthiest.
Y'all need a go-to guy that's willing to take the shot. Jimmy is not willing to take the shots.
I think Jimmy.
No, I think he is. He's just hurt.
I think Jimmy is hurt.
He couldn't sustain that.
Jimmy,
what's his injury?
I don't think he could sustain it.
What's his injury? First of all, Jimmy is not known to be this level of scorer.
His knee.
Yeah, Jimmy messed his knee up in what, game 3?
Yeah,
all of a sudden it's swelling, and
he didn't play the second half.
I can give you
that changed. Like Jimmy was shooting.
Jimmy was dominating, and
Jimmy was shooting, and then he messed. No, yeah, game 3, right? Game 3, he went out, and
then come back in the second half.
4.6, like messing your knee up will change your whole jump shot. That's Zach LaVine. Granted, that's a man. Y'all ever watch how much lift he get on that shot,
bro? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like he trying to dunk on a jump shot. It's very weird. Yeah. But. Like seeing Jimmy go down with the injury, I will say this is the healthiest either team has been coming into a game in this series. Game time decision tonight, Gabe Vincent. Game time decision tonight, Tyler Hero. That's been 5-6 names at certain points in this series. And then game time decision, Marcus Smart. Game time decision, Robert Williams with the knee. He's been in and out all series, and Marcus Smart looked like he was laboring in the last game for most of that game, and then Sam Hauser's still out with the shoulder, but who cares? Exactly. Basically what I said. But I mean, this is. I'll be honest with you. I would pick Miami to win tonight because
I'm
back against the wall. Eric Spoelstra thrives on this. I would pick Miami to win tonight. I'm not saying that they win the series.
Donkey dropping 38-9, yeah.
No, I think it's gonna be Jimmy Butler's gonna say that needle that's gonna mess me up for the rest of the season, and we probably not gonna win the finals with. Stick that right in my knee so that I don't feel my right leg. And I'm gonna go out here and hoop.
I gotta ask you this, Jay, because you've seen enough finals to know it. No matter who wins. No matter who wins, do you think either team has a chance against the Warriors?
No.
It's a Steph Curry invitation.
I specifically want Jay's perspective because, again, realistic, because he lived through the 80s as well. Younger guy. I'm not trying to come at his age by any means. But being a part of that, you got to see the invention realistically of constant movement offense and stuff like that.
Right. To me,
which is nothing. This is what Golden State does, just with shooters.
Yeah.
So, like, what has to happen for them to not even have as dominating of a projection to win? Like, I don't even know how to frame the question. I think it's like a layup. We all know who's going to win.
Right, because they have built a great the shooting. They're phenomenal shooters. These are two Splash Brothers for a reason, and then they get pulled. So it doesn't matter what once those boys get hot. No, Miami doesn't stand a chance, or Boston. To me, Boston doesn't stand a chance because they're too solid. Like this is a deeper squad. I mean, outside of Kevin Durant, clearly, but the Warriors' first team that won without Durant. This team is actually bigger and deeper. And minus Wiseman. So no, they don't. I mean, Iguodala was a good player. They had Bogut, but like this team now, they got the experience. Like that. When we played them, you saw the level of just the level that they played at. They embarrassed Chicago when we played them. Like this is a real team, dude. And they have won. No, I don't see.
So here's a second question because I know Pat's trying to tie it into a Bulls thing, right?
Hey.
So like, I want to do this real quick. No, you were going Zach LaVine way, trying to go in the Eastern Conference, stuff like that. I feel you. I saw where he was going. I wanted to get that out because he was talking about that previously. He never got a chance for the start. I wanted his thoughts on it. But with that being said, we see what it takes to actually get there. We see what we're facing now, and they got years. Like that team is not going anywhere for the next couple of years. What does it take for us to really get there? And is Zach LaVine part of this team for us to do it? Or realistically, is re-upping him, trading the pick, not re-upping him, trading the pick and stuff like that to retool? Is that a better option for us to even be considered in that conversation?
The problem is Zach is probably like the Jordan Poole. We don't have the Clay or the we got us getting.
Wait, that's mad disrespectful.
Not even Clay.
No,
he's not even Clay.
Not even Clay.
No, because he's a very good talented player, but he's not. We talked about this with Pat. Was it last week? Is he the guy that carries the squad? He's a very good 2 to 3 player. He's not the number one. So, like, if you had Jimmy with Zach, I think that could win. But we got rid of Jimmy, for actually getting Zach. But to
again, the reason I say that, the reason I always push back on that is that's the same thing we said with Jimmy.
Yeah, but my point is, regardless of Jimmy, the issue is that he's not the guy that's going to put the team on his back. Like us getting DeMar, it was supposed to be that this is Zach's team, the coronation, that he came from the Olympics. He's going to be the guy. What ended up happening is DeMar became the guy. The problem is DeMar is already old enough that he won't necessarily be here that long. So we can't really build around him for to have some type of sustained, winning. So no, I don't think you put two. And the thing is to give him all that guaranteed type of money. No, he's not that guy.
I look at Zach LaVine much like I look at Devin Booker. Devin Booker to me is a really good player.
Yeah.
But for some odd reason, in certain moments, he is definitely disappearing. And you can't have your best player be 37-year-old Chris Paul.
Right. Because Devin Booker, it's the mental game. That's all I'm talking about with Zach. It's like they got the talent. It's just the mental capacity of having the fortitude to want to win. I'm not saying that Zach. All I'm saying is even with the Chicago Bulls center dude, what I'm saying is that it's not Jordan Poole's team. It's Steph and Clay's team, right? It's Steph's squad. We don't have the guy that's he's not putting the team on our back saying, yo, it's on me. Let's go ahead and win.
How do you do
Can
that
I ask
when
a
you're
question?
trying to fight and play through injury all season?
Can I ask a legit question? So
What if somebody said no? Can I ask the question? Nah.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Mute him.
Wait, can I ask the question?
All right.
Go ahead with your question, bro. Go ahead with your question. By the way, if y'all in here, hit that like button.
I was just gonna say, and this is to piggyback of Jay's point. So I'm gonna just ask you this, because Kid, you said you look at Zach like D Book. If Zach is on the Suns and Chris Paul goes down like he did for those 22 games. Now they went 19-3. Zach can do the same thing?
Yeah. It's a better team.
Here's the thing. I look at Zach as a Devin Booker player in the type of that they have the ability and stuff like that, but for some odd reason, they're just key moments where it's like, hey, this is the moment where the guy has to be the guy, and he hasn't been the guy. Take it to
Okay.
Jason Tatum. Even Draymond Green said this. Even Draymond
Look.
Green said this. He said, "Hey, Jason Tatum at certain points has to know this is your time, and when you let that moment pass you by, it's on you." And so, too many times for me, and I've said it on the live and things of that nature, I've been there. I said, "Hey, Zach needs to go now. This is Zach's time." And when he doesn't, I've been very consistent about it. When he doesn't, I sit there and say, "This is not what we need," because now DeMar's taking more shots, Vooch is taking more shots. It's not balancing the offense. He's not making himself a legitimate threat on a thing. Now he could have been injured and things of that nature, but I find it very suspicious that you can drop 18 in the first half, but then you take 2-3 shots in the second half and you look real spry out there. So it's like, hey,
how's it suspicious though? I'm going as hard as I can in this half because this is the best I'm going to be able to give y'all. My knee hurts.
I mean,
it's the knee. We have to understand like how Zach LaVine's game works. His knee went out, his back went out, his thumb went out. Those are 3 things that are very integral to his style of play.
But
you want to give him because we don't give Chris Paul that same leeway. Chris Paul had a thigh injury and stuff like that. I mean, everyone's banged up. Like injuries happen in that part of the game, but that doesn't change.
We're talking about Chris Paul in the Western Conference Finals, though. We're talking about Zach LaVine the season. Like when did it become like, oh, you're playing hurt? That means like we're gonna judge you based off of that. And by the way, him playing hurt was still a really freaking good player in the NBA.
Yeah, because but we couldn't beat any top tier team.
Zach LaVine had these problems when he wasn't hurt.
Well, we couldn't win.
What problem? When Zach LaVine wasn't hurt, him and DeMar were putting up the same numbers every night.
But we couldn't beat
they weren't beating the elite teams.
They weren't beating elite teams when they both were hurt. And that, well, I won't say that.
They weren't playing the elite teams yet.
I will say this. Zach was taking a lot of shots that he wasn't being efficient.
At the beginning of the season, we played a lot of the weaker teams in the NBA. That's how the schedule was.
Our back end of the schedule was one of the
toughest. Back end of the schedule was all of the elite teams.
Yeah, so
like it was like, hey, keep it, you got it. They ready?
I get that
he goes to his point. Like we smacked all the teams we should have smacked when he was healthy, because we should have smacked him. And unfortunately, he did get injured. I mean, you can't do anything about that. But if you're on the floor and make yourself available, you're on the floor and make yourself available. If you know that, hey, I can only give you so much, you have to pick and choose when you do that. And that's part of the game as well. And that's been the story of basketball since the beginning of basketball. Like, hey, you need to be available at the times we need you most. I don't need you to give me 18 in the first half when I got somebody healthy who can do that. I need your 18 in the back end.
When your knee swells up.
We get the look. The thing is like you're going to.
How do you pick and choose when it hurts? Like we're basing all.
I don't sit there. I can't sit there and give him that pass all season.
So none of the rest of what he's done.
We don't give it for other players.
But this is the thing. None of the rest of what we've seen of Zach LaVine with the Bulls matters. When he was the only player.
The freaking Devin Booker.
You said what?
Devin Booker's a top 5 player in the league. Like I compared him to a really good player. I said his decision making and his efficiency.
What I'm saying is if we're talking about can you put a team around Zach? Now I don't know if I fully think that Zach LaVine is going to be the best player when it's all said and done, or the only player that matters when it's all said and done for the Chicago Bulls. But I'll tell you this, I watched how we were when we had Jimmy, and then when we got rid of him and Zach finally started playing well. You don't get better by getting rid of talent.
No, what
you never get like who are you going to bring in? You get rid of Zach LaVine, you could bring in 3-4 guys. Are they going to equal 27, 5 and 5?
Can I ask a question?
No.
Okay.
But
I just want to say this is getting gross.
Look, no, this is my thing about Zach. I'm not. If we can keep him, great. But if you're talking about a cap and we have to allocate so much money to having him, it's like, are we really going to build a contender where a player that is not necessarily the number one guy in terms of putting the team on his back to win? Yes, he has the talent. His game is really good. Like he can make his own shot. He's definitely athletic, and it sucks that his knee will go in and out. But the point is, like, if we can't build a squad because we have so much money tied to him, I'd rather move on versus building a squad that if we can afford it, then fine. But if we can't, I don't want to do that.
You're going into the luxury.
If we're going to luxury tax, then it's a moot point. Then give them the money because that's just the market.
Michael Reinsdorf already said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going into the luxury tax, and the thing is, like, it's not like you can't build a team around Zach if Zach is there. Like, Vooch is coming into the last year of his deal. DeMar's on a very team friendly deal as the cap continues to go up.
Right.
Lonzo's on a very team friendly deal as the cap continues to go up. You're going to be able to sign these guys. Your hope is that, now I will say this, right? A lot is based on, and even AK and a lot of these guys, is based on what P. Will becomes. That changes everything, right? Because if P. Will is terrible, now you're not talking about Zach
I don't know
LaVine.
how I feel about that approach.
No, P. Will to me
I am
doesn't.
not a fan of that approach.
Yeah, P. Will
Nah,
doesn't.
we
I get you.
disagree
I
on
get you.
that
Whether
shit.
you're a
I'm
fan or
sorry.
not, though, that's what is going to put you into championship level.
That's like me saying Miami's chances depend on Max Strus.
Hey, Crystal.
I can't do it.
Hey, listen,
I mean, right now they
Hey,
do. We can't
they
hit shots.
do.
And then they go get done.
Hey.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
go
Like,
get done. I'm sorry.
they here's the thing. The reason they got to the Eastern Conference Finals is because Max Strus
Development.
was playing well. Like, Tyler Hero been up and down all playoffs, right? So, but my point is that you need your pieces to develop into, at a minimum, what you think they're going to be for you to make that step. That's just that's how basketball works. The Warriors aren't in this position if Jordan Poole doesn't develop and you have another option where 34-year-old Steph isn't on the court for 48 minutes a game.
If your key to winning this to anything in the East is based off of a third-year player who's had a very up and down, who's injured for 1 year for one, and still is in a very much so a prove-it mode, you really ain't watching the game, my boy. That ain't how the league work no more. I love the talk around it, but P. Will ain't no goddamn key.
I mean, it's not. Darius Garland taking a step, put Cleveland in the playoffs.
Darius Garland took a step that was 25-5-5. Hey, listen, there's a big difference between P. Will. P. Will is not going to give me 25-5-5 next season. If he does, I will recap this whole thing. Guess what? Darius Garland,
He went to all-star mode.
Darius Garland averaged, what did he average this season? He averaged 21, 3 and 8. Let's not just throw numbers out there. And also, he went
4
from
less points, 3 more
7
assists, and 2 less rebounds. I got you.
And well, they got young talent that's like really playing ball. Who's the center over there?
That's the point. You got Jared Allen playing well all the Jared Allen was a
not even him
player.
The other guy.
You didn't think that Jared Allen was going to become a key piece to you moving on in the playoffs. Evan Mobley came in.
Evan Mobley. That's the one.
So not DeMar having a repeat of a crazy season, not Zach being healthy, not Lonzo Ball being healthy, not Vooch actually being, not none of these people, not our stars. Our stars aren't the key. P. Will is the key.
No, that's the thing.
Come on.
For you to win,
bro. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
For
not
you,
Ayo, who had a better rookie season than both.
For you to be good, Ayo's a part of that. Ayo's a part of that, though. For you to be good.
Not Alex Caruso, who's been locking down people.
Are we talking about being good, or are we talking about being a championship team?
Hey, dog.
I just feel like
for you to be good, those pieces have to hit. For you to win a championship, you need somebody to become a superstar.
But you have to go like 11 deep to win for a team. Like we have, and the issue is that still at the top, I feel like Vooch to Lonzo to Zach, they're all that same temperament, like good players, but who's really the alpha guy that's going to lead? DeMar definitely is. I feel like he established himself as king of the hill. So now, does a healthy Lonzo really take us where we got to go? Because what we need from P. Will is more rebounding to help out Vooch, right? Because Vooch is like all over the place, shooting threes, wasted motion, but he still gets his 20 and 10. But we're like empty in the hole, and we still need Lonzo.
Man, like I'm just at a mindset.
Does Lonzo not give me 10 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds?
No, he can't.
And I didn't see him for most of the season. Does a healthy here's the thing. I'm not trying to twist the conversation.
A healthy Lonzo doesn't make you an NBA champion. No.
Lonzo doesn't make you an NBA champion.
A healthy Lonzo to this team does not make you an NBA champion.
A healthy Lonzo, a healthy Zach, DeMar doing what he's doing, Vooch doing what he's doing, a healthy Alex Caruso, and the developed Ayo doesn't make you
this season.
No, it doesn't, and it won't next season.
That team beats Boston.
That team.
What team beats Boston? The Bulls if healthy.
The Bulls if healthy beat Boston. This season,
I would say, the Bulls healthy don't beat Boston. I think that game's a lot closer than you're giving credit.
Close don't mean win. Listen, 90 to 80 is close
because I can't say who would win.
Close don't mean win.
Is Marcus Smart going to destroy Lonzo Ball?
No,
but I'm saying
is Jaylen Brown going to destroy DeMar?
That core has been together longer. The Bulls are not battle tested.
Hey, we can debate it on camera.
They're not.
That team is more evenly matched. Healthy, we're more evenly matched with Boston than we're giving credit.
Listen,
that's why if we're talking about it, does Boston not have experience?
Blow us out?
Does Boston not have experience?
I said, do you beat them? I don't think you beat them.
You're not beating them
because I think we do better than Miami does against them. You like that?
I mean, if we take an injury into account, I'm talking about baseball.
But I'm being honest.
You know,
I'm being honest. Like a healthy, they match up. But the Celtics are winning. The Celtics are winning in I'll say 6 games.
So let me ask you:
it'll be a healthy games, all 6 games.
A healthy Bulls
but Boston's winning that.
A healthy Bulls backcourt, according to Pat, was 2 players averaging 25 points a game.
2 players averaging 25 points a game.
Our backcourt at one point during the beginning of the season was our backcourt, DeMar and Zach.
DeMar's in the front court.
Backcourt, front court. Whatever.
I'm like, when was Lonzo averaging 25 points a game?
So I'm just asking, like, we have 2 premier scorers like they do. We have
we have nobody.
We have a defending point guard healthy, and we have a solid bench now if they're healthy. Why can't I believe that we would?
Because we still have the same problem inside.
We had the same problem.
They running Al Horford and Time Lords. You still have P. Will on a 6'10" guy right now, and you have Vooch, and you have no help off of the bench.
Right, you got to get deep.
You have no big man help off of the bench.
Like,
who's the big? You putting Tony Bradley in there?
Right.
Their front court off of the bench goes Al Horford, Daniel Tice, and Time Lord. They're gonna wear you down inside.
Yeah. When you look at
Devontae Green coming in to guard a big man at some point.
Right. When you look
Devontae Green's coming in to guard a center at some point.
You need at least 11 to 13 players.
Kid said it this season. Kid, what was on the team?
Guards.
Oh, guards. Yeah, but it was all guards when we were injured from our premier guards. You know what I'm saying?
It was all guards at the beginning of the season. We had all guards all season. We had a 6'3" dude guarding
the big men you named off their bench. I mean, they do have a defensive presence, but I'm not like that doesn't scare me.
Yeah, but when you have,
it's still
you can have Tice. Here's the thing: Tice can score. Not to say that he's going to go off for 25, but if you put somebody to 6'3" on him, he's got a better chance to do it.
We got to round out our whole squad.
You got to see where we're going with the conversation. I can't sit here and say that Boston.
It's not to say I'm not saying the Bulls get washed either, right? I'm not saying it's a 4-0 blowout and Boston dog walks us out. I just don't think that the Bulls are championship level right now. And I think you in the NBA, you have to have that. Why do we feel like both teams are going to get waxed right now? Because there's a superstar over there.
You got superstars, but you got to have your glue guys, your depth. We just are still building the squad out.
I don't think either team in the Eastern Conference right now has a superstar. They've got a star level player. Both teams have a star level player and an all-star. You've got a
honestly,
superstar, a star, and an all-star just in the starting lineup. By the way, Jordan Poole's also an all-star. By the way, Andrew Wiggins is also an all-star that dips
Yeah.
into star-level player. Like,
the
you got to
supporting
have
cast for their stars is better, and they can all shoot.
Crystal is going off over here.
And listen, it's not the same. But here's the thing as well. Like, if you're going to have sustained success, like the run we're talking about is what, 4 years?
Yeah.
P. Will's got to become something. If he doesn't, you're gonna have Zach by himself again.
Right. You need
Io's got to become something. If you don't, you're gonna have Zach by himself again. If they don't become something,
after that, you looking at Zach 29 with no title, about to be 30.
I do love that we know Muggs in the chat like this. Tim Brazil, like, we're dude that be defending Tatum with like his life is dependent on it. Where is Tail at? He be in it. Tail of Two Cities be in this mug defending Tatum to the depths.
Now, when you look at a lot of the winners, like the last few years, you need at least 11, about 13 players where you got a combination of big men, guard. You do. No, look it up.
Miami was saying 13 deep.
What I'm saying is you got to have a bench. You have to have. You clearly need your all-stars.
Yeah.
The point is that where we are right now, we have probably like 4 all-stars, right? Lonzo, Zach, DeMar, and Vooch. And now, so we got at least some of those guys, right? But then, like you just said, we're weak. We are thin for our big men, and we might need, but we got AC, which is a very good defensive piece for your second team. Your second team is very important just to keep the games going, So we're not there yet. After 1 year of this new iteration, it's like, how do they get better? I mean, it might just be from getting healthy, but it might be actually doesn't this tie into who we need to draft with the 18th pick?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna say this. The only thing that we really had an issue with was points in the paint, which you can scheme for, because guess what? There's plenty of teams that play small ball that control points in the paint. And boards, which Lonzo absolutely feels in. He's a rebounding point because he's 6'7". It's like we fill in a lot of those gaps. P. Will not being there. Now P. Will needs to give me more boards. But if he's going to be the X factor, then you need to get down there and grab a board.
Hey, look. He actually did. You were pretty impressed by him.
Yeah, nah.
He was impressed by 2 games when
he wasn't here when he was doing
No. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Let's not act like P. Kid didn't hop in the chat and say, I got to apologize. P. Will has absolutely come back and given us
He did
we
say
remember it. It's okay. I will say this though, right? Like Crystal commented, who's the Golden State Warriors big man? There's a difference in playing small ball and a difference in being too small to play ball. Your power forward was 6'3".
Yeah. Too low.
That's not small ball.
Kobe White.
Small ball is I'm out there with a smaller lineup that is meant to be played this way and meant to be put in this position. You were playing, we've got nothing else that's over 6'5", and Javante's the best defender left.
Hey, that's the reason why Looney is having those 14 rebound games.
Like small ball, I get small ball. You got a lot. Like I think the Bulls can play small ball. When P. Will came back, that's still small ball. He's 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", something like that.
6'9".
Nah, P. Will like 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big,
like, I mean, we talking about an inch. I don't know if it matters as much in basketball as in other things, but
and that's why they did what they did.
Oh, I'll give you that one. No, P. Will is 6'7". P. Will is 6'7".
Bodies.
Hey, he said it went over his head. You get it.
Hey, it's all good. No, P. Will is 6'7". But that's still technically small ball in the modern NBA. Your power forward's 6'7". You know who don't play small ball? Milwaukee.
They have 7-footers.
They have big men.
A lot of 7-footers.
Bobby Portis is 6'10". Giannis is 7 foot.
Brooke Lopez.
Is 7 foot. Chris Middleton is 6'9". Drew Holiday is
for all intents and purposes. Boston ain't got no tall
6'5".
Al Horford like 6.
I think Drew 6'5".
How tall is Time Lord?
Who the heck is Tom? Lillard?
6'10".
Robert Williams.
6'10".
He's available.
Yeah.
Robert Williams is supposed to play tonight.
Available. He's 6'8".
Robert Williams 6'9".
Robert Williams 6'8", 6'9". Ain't no tall person on Boston like that.
Hey, 7'6" wingspan. What is that? What that human shouldn't be allowed to be built. God up there playing 2K. What is 6'9" with a 7'6" wingspan, bro?
Build a player. Here's the thing. It's two things I have to like. I'm not recanting, but I just disagree with. We had no bench scoring this season because our bench players had our bench was hurt.
Yeah,
right.
Because our starters were hurt. Yeah,
our starters hurt. So when you don't have starters, guess what? You don't have a bench. So now, healthy, I think we have better bench scoring. We have a better showing. Period. It's all about who's going to commit to getting those rebounds, and I think Lonzo helps that. I think can help that. That makes us a better team all the way around because we never have to worry about actually putting the ball in the hoop. We're pretty good about that all season.
It's still tough off the bench, though.
I can't hear you.
I said it's still tough off of the bench, though. You still got tallest player off the bench. Well, Tony Bradley, but I mean,
yeah,
and Marco, who Billy Donovan apparently hates. I don't know.
Piece, more love. It doesn't have to be a star piece. You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have to be a star because you can alternate those long guys. It don't have to be a world breaker coming off that bench for us to fill in certain gaps. Yeah. Like Daniel Tice is a good player. We know we love him because of his grittiness, but he's not like if Daniel Tice is on your team, you're not sitting there saying, "Oh my God, Daniel Tice is coming." Like you're not doing that.
Nah, but he helped this. He would have helped this year.
He would definitely help this. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He would have helped this year.
I think we're in a good position. Yeah. I just wonder if money's not necessarily a factor.
Money's
can we
get?
You're going into the luxury.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Money's not a factor. I'm paying Zach his cash in gold coin. I don't care. Like pay that man his money. But if money's a factor to build, then we got to talk about this 212.
Because here's the thing, right? Like even if no matter what the Bulls do in the draft, if they move the pick at 18, if they keep the pick at 18, no matter what they do,
you move that pick.
Who wants that pick?
Did you see my video?
I got through half of it because I was in the middle of work.
Hey, they finna mess up. There's some teams that's gonna mess up. I don't get it. I know everybody's like, you're just watching the highlights. I watch more than the highlights. I watch the highlights so I can break them down with y'all. Bro, I don't get why EJ Liddell's falling. I get he's been in the league 2 years, or he's been in college 3 years. He's 21 years old. EJ
Liddell a bucket.
Bro,
hey, that's what happened to Ayo.
His footwork is pro level. I was just looking at his feet. I was looking at his feet. I'm like, fam, he's jab, step down low, back to the basket, pump, somebody jump, lay. What is that? He's 6'7". he a power forward at the next level. Like, what is that?
Bobby Portis.
The only reason I say you trade that pick is because outside of Golden State, I don't know how many times I've seen a team, and again, Draymond's even mentioned it, where you have young guys that need to develop with some older guys that's had that level of success. Even players are saying, hey, it's kind of rare to get that mix. And I don't know if we're in that time frame.
I agree with you. I would only draft somebody that has been in college multiple years like Ayo was. Because no matter what the NBA believes right now, or no matter what these GMs believe, I don't care what players that are going to make an impact take time to develop their game.
Yeah.
That's why Magic Johnson could come into the NBA and win a championship. That's why Larry Bird could come into the NBA and dominate. That's why Michael Jordan could come into the NBA. When these mugs stay longer, now the problem is, right, your stars don't stay longer. The young people be like, well, I'm in this mug. I'm going to go make my millions. I'm going to the league right now. I'll develop at the next level. But when you see the mugs that sit there 2-3 years and really work on their game at the college level, they come into the NBA ready to play.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. So
the only way I would use
Mug slept on Buddy Hield. Mug slept on Buddy Hield is one.
He was heralded. He was heralded coming out. He could shoot.
Hey, Steph.
He was on the team. That's cool. That's cool.
Buddy Hield.
All right. Anyway, Buddy Hield is serviceable. Buddy Hield is very serviceable. My man was on the Kings. My man was on the Kings. Now he's on the Pacers. Like,
And for some odd reason, the Kings look better.
Right. Buddy Hield was like,
The Kings look better.
I'm taking big naps on Buddy Hield, bro.
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
If we could get us some big men in here, because we got a lot of guards. We got
I trade that 18 pick for Buddy Hield
We don't.
if they throw in some picks with him.
Yeah, you got to say something.
I'm interested to see what Acme does, because for what they've done so far, I mean, I want to sit back and see what they do. I think they have a plan, and we'll see what they do.
You know what? I have faith that they're gonna do make some noise, and we're gonna be a better team, or at least set up for a better team. I just don't subscribe to the look at what they did with this, just for me to blindly believe that their next move is gonna be successful. No. I mean, Danny Ainge has made some great moves with Boston, but then they done fumbled the bag a couple of times. You can't tell me Brad Stevens was a great coach.
No, but I will say is Brad Stevens going to the front office was the best move. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think you'll see more teams do that. I was off of the move, right, because I didn't like how they did it. Like, it was just like, oh, it's my boy, I'm gonna put him in there. Whatever though. Brad Stevens moving to the front office was the best move Boston could have made, because Brad Stevens went into the front office and is like, all right, I know what we need, and I'm drafting it. Get me a big man.
Hey, so by the way, we sleeping on Buddy Hield. 16 a game, but that man been shooting 40.
Nobody's sleeping on him.
Don't do that. Let him finish.
Nobody's.
Go ahead. You said what, Ringo?
Hey, 16 points a game, 40% from three. But y'all talking about y'all need a shooter.
No, first of all, he's an underachiever in the sense that he came in shooting. We knew he could shoot. Like he should be doing.
Is that not what y'all need?
Steph, Duncan Robinson.
But again, it's the game by game, right? This is Buddy Hield's last 10. 21, 12, 25, 19, 6, 20, 26, 14, 11, 25.
True. Now I'm gonna use one of P. Kid references though. Situation. If I'm on Sacramento, I'm shooting that. I'm sure everybody else gonna tell me I'm shooting that.
Hey, it's cool to be on Sacramento and shooting that, but it would help Sacramento a lot if you would make that when you shoot that.
Hey man, hey.
Listen.
Can we just
let's not confuse activity with accomplishment.
Yeah. Situation and circumstance.
Let's not confuse activity with accomplishment. Hey, listen, I've seen a lot of great shooters on bad teams still make shots.
Bradley Beal.
Hey, listen, I bet y'all wanted Bradley Beal in the playoffs now, don't you? Bradley Beal would have had this whole series.
Ringo was in on Brad Beal.
Man, first of all,
Miami, they shouldn't give up all them pieces for Bradley Beal. All them pieces they talked about ain't showed up in the playoffs.
Oh, you did say you wouldn't give up Tyler Hero for Bradley Beal, yeah.
Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, I think Victor Oladipo.
Hey, and then the end of the season came, and he was like, trade everybody.
I bet you wish Brad Beal to take over Victor Oladipo shots now. That man's the first time I ever heard an announcer say,
you said it would be gutting your
Hey, well, either way, it ain't happening. That 264 is not I wouldn't leave if it's 264 on the table.
Hey, if I'm gonna take L's, you're gonna pay me to take L's. 265, run it. Let's go.
Hey. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I saw that contract.
What did Lou Will say in his Kobe story? All right, every time down, give me the ball. I'm gonna show y'all what it's like to play with Kobe.
I touch the ball every time down the court. Hey,
I don't know if Bradley Beal got that mentality or not, but I'm gonna say this: he got 265 million reasons.
I like Chicago. Hey, Chicago guard's on facts. He said this show's gone off the rails 100%. Anytime Kid shows up, but it's a great show, man. We appreciate.
You know what? Since it's all my fault, fine. How about that? How about that? Since it's just me. I was sitting there following the flow with y'all. Y'all was talking about top 10 when we should have been reading ads. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we got to have some ads to read. By the way, if anybody want to throw a sponsorship in there, let us know.
Sponsored by nobody.
Right. EJ's Nito stat of the night.
Unsolicited sponsorship since 1989.
What's your prediction for tonight?
I got Miami getting a win.
Boston wins.
I got Boston win.
I'm gonna take Miami. I'm gonna roll with my dogs.
You said that with no confidence.
Going down with the ship.
You said that like I gotta roll with my team. Like,
going down with the ship.
Hey, you so defeated right now. It's okay, dog. It's okay.
I'm gonna go.
Hey, join the Discord because we're gonna be roasting Ringo all this time about how Miami getting smoked.
Hey, Ringo not gonna be in there. You know, Ringo don't go up in there.
Oh, and by the way, yeah, I want you all to start roasting him, even if he doesn't reply, because he reads everything, but he don't reply to the end of the game. Like
don't tell him what I do. Don't tell him what I do. All right,
he'll wait to the end of the game. He'll find your comment and then like reply to it. Like, oh, so remember you said this? It's like, dude, the game is over already. You can't talk trash.
Don't tell him what I do. All right,
I'll be talking about what I do. That's what you do. You wait to the end of the game. It'd be a minute left. You up 10. Remember this? Like,
hey, this is what's gonna be hilarious. Like there was so much pain in his voice, but if Miami win tonight, he definitely gonna come in there. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Stop playing with my boys. We fight to the end.
I'm not trying to see Jimmy Butler look like he did in the bubble.
Hey,
defeated.
Long as we all agree when we get to the finals, Warriors finna be looking at.
It's the Steph Curry invitation. I told you I'm on my LeBron. Hey, we had a nice season. We got to the finals.
How do y'all feel about that Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird award?
It's good. That's cool.
I'm but I guarantee you it's gonna be brought up in the conversation in like 3 years.
Hey, my problem has nothing to do with the fact that they added an award. I always did think it was weird that there was basically no award for making the finals. I was like, it's kind of impressive that you made an NBA finals.
There's an award. I mean, you get the championship, but you know.
That's true. Technically, LeBron should have like NBA champion. LeBron should have like 8 of them. Then,
He should have the Magic and the Larry.
No, because
AD actually get that Magic.
AD would have got the Magic. AD would have won the Magic one that year.
Yeah, because he's been there how many? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
AD would have won the Magic.
All those people said, I don't want AD. AD show was cooking when he was healthy. I'm just letting y'all know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He just don't. Whatever. Yeah. All right, I gotta go.
We appreciate hit that like button, subscribe to the page. I'm pretty sure at some point in tonight's game, we all gonna be looking at the screen just like,
oh brother, this guy's
it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, but hey, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. We also talk national sports on the Daily Show every day from 11 to 1. We won't be live Monday because I make the schedule. But also because baby bro getting married. Shout out to y'all for pulling up and rocking with us, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Shout out to the bros in the building. Super producer Joel Hope, Mr. P Kid, Stefan the Dime,